Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. Recently I did a review of the Schulte in London box, and I mentioned that I found his Russian music disc to be extremely superficial and unconvincing, and it surprised some of you because, of course, Schulte was known as the Screaming Skull. He was a maniac. He was supposed to be fast and loud and vulgar and, really able to just blast his way through all that music. And sometimes he was, but he isn't on that disc. And one of you asked me to give my opinion. It's not an opinion, it's a fact, but my fact-based opinion on what the best version of Mussorgsky's Night on Bald Mountain was, because the writer had always thought that Schulte's was like the best ever, and oh gosh, it's awful. I told him that the best one was this one. I'm doing it from the overflow room here because I had it here, sitting in the overflow room. Leonard Slatkin with the St. Louis Symphony. Sometimes these things surprise you, and it's on Vox. Good old Vox. It happens to be the best recorded, most exciting performance of A Night on Bald Mountain I've ever heard. It's not exciting in terms of speed. Slatkin does not go in for speed. He goes in for weight and atmosphere and the character of the music as realized through the sound, the timbre of the orchestra. And it is extraordinary. I'm not kidding. There are so many things you hear in this performance that you don't hear in any other, especially detail in the percussion, detail in the lower strings, pizzicati, blend of woodwinds and muted horns. It's just amazing. He doesn't miss a trick. And, Rimsky-Korsakov's orchestration, and that's what Rimsky's all about. It's not about how fast you can do it. It's about how colorful you can make it sound. And this is simply the most colorful version out there. And because the piece is a witch's Sabbath, and it's creepy and threatening and doom-laden, it has more creepiness and threateningosity and doomitude than any other performance out there. It also has the best tam-tam playing I've ever heard in the piece. I mean, you can hear famous performances of this piece. You'd never even know half of these instruments are there. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking, including really famous people who do this music, and some of them who do it very beautifully, like Ormandy and people like that. Where are all of Rimsky-Korsakov's special effects? Well, you'll hear them here. And I have two examples to play you that I just want you to listen to. The middle section of A Night on Bald Mountain. The middle section it always seems to be the part you want to get through because it's got a lot of repetition. It's jump, 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 jump. Now, did me doing that bore you? Well, there you go. What can I tell you? But it rises to a really scary, it should be, scary climax before it returns to the opening, cauldron of simmering wickedness with which the piece opens. And listen to the way Slatkin does it. Isn't that something else? It becomes a highlight of the piece. And if you look at the score, which of course I always do because I'm always fascinated when I hear things in performances that I don't hear in any of the others, to see what the composer really wrote. Yes, that's what he wrote. That's what we hear. And you've just got to hear the way Slatkin handles the climax of the whole piece, the final extraordinary, hysterical thing that's going on there. There's just nothing like it in the whole recorded repertoire. And, a night on Bald Mountain that doesn't have these climaxes is not a night on Bald Mountain. It's just a waste of your time and energy. Listen to this. I rest my case. There's really nothing more to say. The performance speaks for itself. The music speaks for itself. I don't have to go on any further. If you love A Night on Bald Mountain, then you must have Slatkin and St. Louis. And I promise you, other performances may have other qualities, but I think every single one that I've ever heard after this one has sounded somewhat faded and colorless in comparison. It's just that vivid, that effective, that atmospheric, that reaches out and grabs you by the throat. And that's what the piece is supposed to do. I want my throat grabbed. And so do you. So keep on listening, folks. I hope this cleared up any controversy. Take care.